The world is full of different kind of people, each one unique in its own way of probably expressing or accepting facts and figures. So in the same lines, even an organization will have different kind of bosses. Yes, sometimes it becomes very difficult to communicate to a senior manager or a senior person who is very rigid and who has his own approach and who has his own way of getting things done. I believe things do get difficult there. So how do I tackle it? Probably I try to look at it giving them the benefit of doubt. I try and go back and think, is that what is it or why is it that he's not convinced? I start working on the statistics, the numbers, probably the cost, probably the ROI or the methodology or the approach or the benefit statement, and get ready and prepare to go to him. One of the things that has worked for me is that communication is very important. You have an idea that can be very unique, but when you're communicating it, it has to go and reach the person in front of you, and he should be able to understand, comprehend and appreciate it. One of the ways that you can do that is probably you can speak to some senior managers or people or seasoned people who have been in the organization for a long time and who believe in your idea. These brainstorming sessions or these feedbacks and these reviews, small inputs, probably even the way it is being presented, can go miles when you want to convince the person in front of you. You have to try, you have to keep trying and give it the best. You could even practice the elevator speech probably, because you come from a school of thought, you want to bring in a difference, a positive one, and you believe that this idea is going to have an impact and it is significant. So we should not be discouraged, but try and pursue it. I remember in one of the organizations where digitization, digital learning was becoming a very important goal, I went with my benefit statement. I used an open source and I used and created a small video which was immediately liked by the MD, and he gave me a go ahead. And we worked on it for quite some time and we created really very good learning knowledge bites. But a few months down the line, the management changed, the goals changed, and so the new leader was not or was very apprehensive about this entire project. Well, the session stopped. So do I feel discouraged? No. You did your best and you brought in value, which these knowledge bites are still being used in the organization, but it could not complete its phase. That's fair enough. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. But if there are some interventions which do not have budgetary constraints, like for example, you want to build a robust training academy, you want to build content, you want to change the way a process is done, you want to change the way data is defined, captured, you want to change the formats of template, please work extra hours and bring in that difference. Please do, because people will notice the change in quality and they will experience a difference. The customers or the participants themselves will experience it. And it's a very beautiful way too, because you set internal milestones for your own team, okay? And in that way, you're actually building people. You're giving them a reason, a chance to explore the talent that they come in with, to bring in some real innovative delivery or mechanisms and methods of better customer engagement. I think you shouldn't miss out that chance. And you should encourage your team members, because ultimately you are building assets for the company. You are building a robust academy for a training academy or a training center for the organization, and definitely it will have a larger shelf life. Every activity, every process that you're doing will definitely bring in a lot of quality and will give you a deep sense of satisfaction. So when it comes to handling these decision makers. If you created and worked sincerely on your project, probably you're ahead of time, because you bring in your own school of learning and you have your own way of understanding that this is what the company needs it. Please don't delete it. Create a folder and keep it. There will be a time and chance when that will be required, and you will be able to quickly bring it to onto the table and quickly transform it completely. So everything has a time and chance, and you need to wait for your time and chance. But while you're waiting for it, continue your pursuit for it. Never give up. Keep trying, because life is all about bringing a change, a positive change. And training, learning, development initiatives, they're all initiatives which revolve around people. So you must go ahead and be very positive whenever even if you come across a decision maker who is very, very difficult. Who knows, someday this asset that you have created for your organization is going to be one of the pillars of their development. I definitely believe in that. One thing, bosses don't like surprises. So please do not take major initiatives without the consent of your immediate boss. Yes, it throws a lot of poor light in case these initiatives, the knowledge of these initiatives reach your bosses from a different perspective, or from a different angle, or from a different people. That will mean that entire project will be shelved. You have to be a little wiser there. I principally believe that in matters of management, you can just flow with whatever is happening in the organization and its learning culture. But in matters of principle, you must stand like a rock. That's what brings the difference.